It's a 360-degree coverage from the LOC today morning on First Up. Going straight across to Padmaja Joshi, who's joining us from Uri sector. Padmaja, we'd seen that there were two cowardly attempts yesterday also by Pakistan to infiltrate across the border, spread terror on the Indian soil. How's the situation today morning? Over to you.
Thanks, Devina. In fact, where we stand is just a few kilometers away from the LOC itself. Right across there on the mountains is Lachipura, where the big encounter yesterday between the Indian security forces and the terrorists took place. Remember, this was a huge group of terrorists which had managed to infiltrate. In the afternoon yesterday, they were engaged soon after by the Indian army, and most of them have been killed. However, a final number not being put on that just as yet. And it's because of these activities which are perpetrated by Pakistan that now the chorus against the country is growing, Devina. In fact, we've got breaking news just coming in right now about how an act has been moved in the House of Representatives by two congressmen. In fact, they have asked for Pakistan to be declared a terror state. This is a demand which has been made, in fact, in the US House of Representatives, and this act has been moved. We've got Kasper Klasra now joining us for more on that story. Kasper, first of all, give us more details of exactly the kind of support that this demand has been getting. The latest one is now made in the US Congress.
Well, definitely, you have rightly mentioned that a report has been made into the Representative House asking for, to declare Pakistan as a terrorist state. But let me tell you that Pakistani side has made intensive lobbying in the United States as well. Prime Minister Nawaz Sharif has met, the Secretary of State and definitely other world leaders, and he has put forward, a strong case of Pakistan, that Pakistan, as a matter of fact, itself has been, the target of terrorists since 2001, followed by the Twin Tower attack in New York. So definitely, while the pressure is exerted by the world leaders on Pakistan, especially by the Indian lobbying, but definitely Pakistan has a strong case as well. And but we will have to wait until something fold in these records as well.
All right, Kasper, just stay with me. Pakistan claims Gaurav Sawant is also, in fact, now joining us live on our special edition of First Up. And Gaurav, Pakistan seems to think that they have a very strong case when it comes to approaching the international community. But tell us, what are the ramifications of this particular demand being made? In fact, soon after the Uri attack took place, we'd seen several senators, in fact, the senator from Texas also, in very strong words, naming Pakistan and saying that this Pakistan-sponsored terror must stop. And now this. What are this move's ramifications?
So Pakistan thinks it has a strong case, but nobody's even willing to engage with Pakistan. Pakistan's Prime Minister sought time with the US President Barack Obama. He's not getting that time. He's only spoken to US Secretary of State John Kerry, and Secretary of State John Kerry gave him a strong dressing down on Uri terror attacks and told him that Pakistan cannot attack terror in a piecemeal manner, that go after some terrorists and not go after the others. Pakistan has to ensure that its territory is not used to sponsor terror at all. That's one part of the story. That's what the US government is saying. But what's the all-powerful US Congress saying? The House of Representatives, if you can hear me, Padmaja, the House of Representatives, now there's a representation there that Pakistan should officially be declared a state sponsor of terror, and that the US government will now have to give in writing whether Pakistan is sponsoring terror from its territory. And should that happen, all US aid will come to a standstill, and that is a nightmare for Pakistan. So much so that Pakistani commentators are now saying that their attitude of giving support to either the Taliban or not going after the Mumbai terror attacks is costing them dearly, that they are completely isolated in the world today. Padmaja.
Oh, absolutely, and with good reason. Earlier also, there were questions raised about where this aid, the US, substantial amount of US aid that is being given to Pakistan, exactly where is it being funneled, most of it into terror camps in POK. Stay with me, Kasper and Gaurav, because this kind of reaction that we're getting from the US Congress, they are not alone. We've seen countries across the board, especially in this particular region, who have been affected by Pakistan's policy of using terrorism as an instrument instrument of state policy. They've all been affected by it. In fact, there's a very real possibility that Pakistan may even now be isolated in the regional grouping itself. Watch this report.
The world has been taking note. Ahead of Nawaz Sharif's address at the UNGA, Pakistan's atrocities are not going unnoticed. Whether it's Balochis being subjected to unspeakable torture or 18 Indian Army Jawans being killed in the most cowardly fashion in Uri, Pakistan is now cornered by the world. In his last speech at the United Nations, US President Barack Obama made it a point to put Pakistan at the forefront for inducing proxy wars.
We have to insist that all parties recognize a common humanity and that nations end proxy wars that fuel disorder. Because until basic questions are answered about how communities coexist, the embers of extremism will continue to burn. Countless human beings will suffer.
Not only the US, the UK has made its stand clear and condemned the deadly Uri attack. With unending infiltration bids at the LOC in Kashmir, Prime Minister Modi has declared an open diplomatic war. The United Nations chief Ban Ki-moon also took notice and released a statement condemning the attack that killed 18 soldiers. France, Germany, Nepal, Japan and 8 other countries has cornered Pakistan and criticized the attacks in Indian soil. Even Saudi Arabia, which is a close aide, has refused to side with Pakistan in this diplomatic war. Bureau Report, India Today.
This, in fact, is the bridge crossing the Jhelum to the other side, where the encounter between the Pakistan-funded terrorists and the Indian army is taking place, the mopping up operations over there. But right now, we're going to play out for you this interview that Pervez Musharraf, former president of Pakistan, has given to Sama TV, and it really comes as no surprise the kind of things that he says. He says that what India has said about Pakistan's role vis-a-vis the Uri terror attack, it is an outrage. He gets very angry about how India is making all these allegations without any proof. It's very familiar, this kind of rant coming from Pervez Musharraf. Listen in for yourself.
मतलब ये बहुत ही अफसोसनाक सिचुएशन है कि हिंदुस्तान हमेशा बगैर किसी तहकीकात पूरी करने के एकदम एक इल्ज़ाम फेंकता है, और इल्ज़ाम ना कि ये कि किसी ऑर्गेनाइजेशन पे फेंके, हुकूमत पाकिस्तान और पाकिस्तान फौज पे ब्लेम के ये इन्होंने करवाया है, जबकि कोई सबूत नहीं है। और अभी सबूत दे रहे हैं कि हथियार आपके थे और उनके एम्यूनिशन आपकी थी। वो ये कौन सा सबूत हुआ? अमेरिका के हथियार और अमेरिका के एम्यूनिशन तालिबान और अल-कायदा के पास हैं और दाइश के पास भी हैं। तो फिर चलो हम कहते हैं कि अमेरिका उनके साथ मुलव्वस है, प्रेसिडेंट ओबामा उनके साथ मुलव्वस है। ये कौन सी बात हुई? ये हथियार तो हर जगह हर मुल्क के मिलते हैं, प्रोलिफरेशन है, तो कोई ये सबूत नहीं है। तो दूसरी चीज ये है कि ये धमकियां देना, देखें धमकियां देने से ये याद रखना चाहिए, ये एक हाइप क्रिएट करते हैं, टेंशन क्रिएट करते हैं। हमें उसका जवाब बिल्कुल जारियाना देना चाहिए। ये डीएमओ को मैं बताता, इंडियन डीजीएमओ को मैंने बात सुनी है उनके डिफेंस मिनिस्टर की, कि हम अपने टाइम एंड प्लेस ऑफ चूजिंग पे हम एक्शन करेंगे। फौजी हैं डीजीएमओ, मैं भी डीजीएमओ रहा हूँ। ये प्लान जो है ना वो होता है जो हर चीज को वॉर गेम करें, एंड तक लेकर जाएं। आपके हमें टाइम एंड प्लेस ऑफ चूजिंग पे करने से बात खत्म नहीं होगी, हम भी फिर अपने टाइम एंड प्लेस ऑफ चूजिंग पे आपके ऊपर वही करेंगे। तो ये क्या आप बात कर रहे हैं? ये दिस विल लीड टू एस्केलेशन और जंग हो सकती है। तो इसमें हमें पाकिस्तान को एक तो बहुत एहतियात का रोल और पाकिस्तान को बिल्कुल जानेहाना जवाब के लिए तैयार होना चाहिए।
Kaswar Klasa continues to be live with us from Islamabad, as does Executive Editor Gaurav Sawant joining us live from Delhi. Kaswar, Why indulge in this saber rattling? India has never mentioned war. India is just saying we'll respond at a time and place of our choosing. First, you had the Chief of Army Staff of Pakistan saying, there is going to be an escalation. We are completely capable of dealing in all kinds of conflict. Now you have Pervez Musharraf saying escalation ho jayega, war ho jayega. Is Pakistan nervous with the kind of stance that this time India has taken?
Well, definitely, it's really interesting question. But I have spoken to the Pakistani official. They argue that the former president of Pakistan, the former army chief, was acting in his own personal capacity, and Pakistan Armed Forces, the Pakistani government, nothing to do with what he said during the interview with a local Pakistani television. That is one thing. But on the other hand, definitely Pervez Musharraf has raised some valid points as well. And let me tell you, in Pakistan, reports are doing the round in power corridor and in the public as well, that citing some intelligence report from Pakistan intelligence that India has made fully preparation to attack some target in Pakistan, and definitely in a bid to counter the attack, Pakistan must be fully ready as well. So this is the situation what I am getting here in Islamabad, and definitely there's some circle in government side, and also the former, the officials, armed forces and civil bureaucracy as well. They argue that there is an escalation between worldly escalation between Pakistan and India, but definitely Pakistani side must be ready to counter the attack. So this is the mood what I am getting here in Islamabad. And one thing important is
that when Mr. Pervez Musharraf speaks of escalation, he says that India should not indulge in this kind of commentary which is going to result in escalation. But isn't the terror attack in Uri the point at which this escalation began?
Spot on there, Padmaja. That's the aspect that Pakistan just completely ignores. And that's the aspect where Pakistan stands completely isolated. The only thing India has escalated is a diplomatic assault. And that diplomatic assault has only just started. Pakistan doesn't even know what's going to hit it and how. This diplomatic onslaught, Sushma Swaraj's speech at the UN General Assembly, Sushma Swaraj's engagements in the United States of America. As External Affairs Minister of India, she'll have far more engagements than Pakistan's Prime Minister Nawaz Sharif had. I mean, he's completely isolated. That's one aspect of the story. Pakistan's own strategic community is conceding that nobody is giving Pakistan the time of day. They're unable to put their point across because nobody is listening. If they want to, talk about Kashmir, everyone's saying stop terror first. Afghanistan is attacking Pakistan diplomatically. Bangladesh is doing that, and the entire SAARC region is coming around to say that the development of SAARC region is being halted by Pakistan's terrorism. That's one part of the story. Militarily, India has done absolutely nothing. Pakistan continues to send in terrorists. India hasn't even responded just as yet. The government has told the Army Commander, Northern Command General Hooda, that he should respond at a place and time of his choosing. That also takes time. The ignorance in Pakistan is such that it's folly to be wise for that country, because you don't go to war just like that. You need to build up for war. There is no build up anywhere.
Absolutely, and big talk is not going to get it anywhere. For now, Kaswar Klasra, Gaurav Sawant, thank you very much for joining us. But why was Uri attacked not once but twice? First, an attack on an army camp, and then another bidden infiltration just a few kilometers away from that army camp. What is the importance of Uri, and how are the locals reacting to this dastardly attack, the worst one in several decades? I'll get you that story on the other side of a quick break. Welcome back. You're watching the special edition of First Up from Ground Zero, Uri. And in fact, on Sunday, Uri is where a terror attack took place on an army camp. And then just hours later, on Tuesday, there was another group of infiltrators who were blocked by the army, who were intercepted by the army. But why is Uri so important? This is a border town just a few kilometers away from the LOC, and most importantly, it's an area where the locals have had a symbiotic relationship with the army. Even as the rest of the valley was roiling with unrest, Uri stayed calm. How are the locals reacting now to this attempt to try and disturb that calm?
A study in contrast to violent Stone Valley. Uri has been a picture of tranquil, snubbing the repeated strike calls. But the deadly terror attack on army camp changed things for the worse, forcing a 2-day-long shutdown. But now, this township on the LOC is trying to be back on its feet. Markets have reopened and traffic is back on the roads. This 80-year-old teacher asserts, Uri is Aman Pasand.
हमें ये फख्र रहा है कि हम कभी एंटी एक्टिविटीज के साथ ताल्लुक नहीं रखते, न हमने कभी रखा है।
हमारी समझ पर क्योंकि हमने देखा नहीं, ऐसा कोई माहौल नहीं है यहाँ। हमें भी लगभग 90 से इस वक्त कोई ऐसा मामला नहीं है। हमारे मार्केट में आसपास कोई ऐसा मामला नहीं है।
Due to enhanced security measures, the transit route which passed through the army camp is shut for now. Locals hope it will reopen soon.
पहले कभी ऐसा देखा है? पहले पिछले 40 सालों में?
नहीं, इधर नहीं, परापर उड़ी में नहीं देखा। बाद में मतलब ये चीजें साइडों में देखा होगा, सुना होगा कि मतलब ऐसे फायरिंग होती है, लेकिन इधर परापर उड़ी में नहीं।
Locals here have always shared a special relationship with the armed forces, often benefiting from the symbiotic ties. Vegetable seller Sarjeet Singh, whose family is staying here since 1947, is hopeful.
हड़तालें करने से ऐसा कुछ तो हो नहीं सकता है, बातचीत से जो मसला जो हल होगा, ऐसे तो जा नहीं सकता कुछ।
Immediately after the terror attack at the army camp in Uri, the entire marketplace, a busy marketplace, a bustling marketplace, was shut for a whole 2 days. But finally, on Tuesday, it has opened its shutters. All of the marketplace is now bustling with activity, mind you, at a time when the rest of the valley is in a state of shutdown. लगता है इससे कुछ भी फर्क पड़ेगा?
जी, इसमें आवाम को कोई फर्क यहाँ पे नहीं पड़ेगी, ये तो हो जाएगा, फिर वैसे ठीक हो जाएगा।
Everything has very quickly come back to normal as far as people in this area are concerned. It's just another day.